We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode.
This week's episode is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Mention the Voice Party and get $200 off your first graphic rap or color change. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play. Welcome. This week's episode of The Voice Party. I am your host, Corday Snell. Across me, I have the amazing JD Orendia. Hell yeah. And then on the ones and twos, I have Phil Spooner. How we doing, guys?
Dude, it's end of year. It's end of year.
Yeah.
It's you know, I'm all alone here. You're all alone there.
I'm all alone. There's no one
It's a lonely December.
beside me. My problems have all gone. There's no one to ride me. But you gotta have friends.
Oh shit.
That's the clip.
Shrek.
Exactly.
That's the clip.
That's the clip, right? That's the clip.
This is a typical end of year, like how you end up end of the year, man. All alone with your real homies. Cause fuck all these fakes that flake, you know? Who are we missing, Corday?
We're missing the
Gaspar?
amazing, the fabulous, the well-dressed, the WWE entertainment, well, actually WWF introducer, Black Joaquin. Let's give it a form real quick.
Okay, he's
Wait.
too late. Get out.
All right.
Yeah, he's sick. He's still part of the Voice Party.
Absolutely.
But we did have a recent departure for all the listeners
Yeah.
of, I forget his name. What's his name?
He's bisexual, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
Some
July,
something tomorrow's, today's, or some shit.
No
Yeah.
one gives a fuck about tomorrow's June
There
right
you go.
now.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. We're going through some changes.
Yeah.
You know, the Voice Party's never set in stone.
Yeah.
Corday wasn't here at the beginning.
Yep.
Phil's always been here, but he barely talks.
I mean, I have to be. I'm barely talking because I'm pushing all the buttons.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. But that's just life, man. It's not, it's not the end of the world. I think this shit's going to go on for as long as we can go on. I mean, people would tell me the minute you guys get bored, like the last few people get bored, then I'll say maybe that's it. Do you like coming on this shit, Corday?
Do I like coming on this shit? Yeah, I love to. I love doing podcasts, man. That's what I love.
It's not easy though.
It's not easy. It's
Takes time out of your rest.
Time out of your rest. That's the hardest part, honestly. And a lot of times we shoot on a particular day, usually Sundays.
Yeah.
And during the football season, that's always super hard because I'm just like, I want to pull out my phone and watch the games. But I'm like sacrificing.
Gambling addiction.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't gamble, though. That's something I don't do.
But in your mind, you're like, I bet the fucking Bears are going to beat.
So one thing, we always talk about like how we want to like improve the show, upgrade the show. One idea I've always had is to get like a big TV and mount it on a stand and just have it like above one of these backdrops so y'all can see the program feed, so y'all see the show as I'm editing it. But I could just picture doing that, and then Corday's like, "Hey, but you got the remote. The game is on."
No, so I literally, that's my immediate thought. I thought you was going to say, have the backdrop and see how it's going. And then I was like, I thought you was going to put the game on. Like, but then also, you don't want that because as a kid growing up, I was always just like.
That could be a problem too, though. Like, even if it was just you staring at the feet.
Well, that's like back in
the Rock supposedly Undertaker said that whenever the Rock would be having Undertaker up against the ropes hitting him, he would see himself and they would like like I can see that being a problem too.
Well, I was gonna say, like, back in the beginning, before we were a video podcast and we were just an audio podcast, I didn't have much to do. Like, I pressed record. Yep, everything still sounds okay. So I just had to sit there. So I would always have the TV on, and I gotta have the sound off because we're recording. There's only so many things you can watch without the sound off and still be entertained. It's just like Jackass and wrestling, basically.
Did you put the subtitles on?
I would
Yeah,
not.
there's a picture we took where it's like, get him in the nipples, some shit like that. While someone's unloading like a heavy ass store.
Yeah, we had a woman talking about like being a victim of sexual assault and trafficking.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're watching Jackass 3.
He's watching.
Yeah.
Because he was disconnected back then. Like he wasn't really, he would never talk. He didn't even have a microphone.
So, well, yeah, I was the tech guy. So everybody's like trying to be like, oh my god,
No, we
you're
weren't
so
trying,
brave.
motherfucker.
While they're fucking trying to hit a hacky sack with their
And
dicks.
you're just like, get him. And she's like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, I'm watching TV.
Well, we did an episode with yesterday's May, and one of the dudes was so fucking like ADD as fuck. He was like distracted by the TV. You remember this?
I remember that. Yeah. And that's when we stopped.
If I start a band, it's gonna be called Yesterday's May. All right.
Yesterday's May.
Oh, that's the name of the episode. Yesterday's May.
I don't want any association with that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
100%.
Beyond the grave.
Yeah. So
No,
before
but go ahead.
I was going to say, well, I was change this, but before we started recording, what were we talking about? Like Apple Plus?
Well, we were talking about a lot of things. My homeboy over here, that's how we started.
Yeah.
Just recently, tell him what you did, Phil, without giving too many details.
I can't give a lot of details.
Yeah.
For legal reasons.
Right.
But I was in Hollywood this week.
Ooh. Wait. Corday. Ooh. Tell us more.
I'm trying to think how much I can tell.
Okay, he's basically the equivalent of going backstage at a big show for a comic, and you got to meet a lot of comics and see how they, whatever. That's what you did.
I did some stuff there. I shot some stuff. I can't tell anybody what I shot there.
Yeah, and we're gonna edit the name out. But tell us a little bit of what your experience was like at a major studio.
At a major streaming studio.
A guy that started filming backyard wrestling videos got to go to the big leagues.
Yeah.
He was at Kevin Hart's LOL Network. Exactly. Let's talk about Kevin Hart's LOL Network.
I was at Freeform headquarters, and
You was at Tubi.
He was at Univision
headquarters.
Telemundo.
but no, it was dope. Like the fucking office building was huge. I think there was like 14 floors or some shit like that. But what I've been telling you guys about, the thing that won me over the most, that I can't stop gushing over, it isn't any of the Hollywood glitz and glamour. It's the fucking cafeteria. This place had an amazing cafeteria. They served breakfast, lunch. They had coffee, soda, snacks all throughout the day. Free. Help yourself. It's free. I didn't pay a dime on food while I was down there. I ate like a king. It was amazing.
That is amazing because sometimes food definitely is something that kind of adds up over time that people do not factor in, especially also the time you have to go, especially if you're door dashing, Uber Eats, or driving to go
Takes a
pick
lot
up
of
this
time
food.
away.
Takes a lot of time away. And then so by having all the people there, because so I teach, and the one thing that like a lot of students complain about sometimes is cafeteria food. But if the cafeteria food is good, no complaints, and that just kind of makes your day better, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was telling you guys this in our group chat. Like, the thought process behind it is, well, if employees don't have to worry about grabbing Starbucks on their way to work or racing back to the office after they get their food, if we just take that stress away and we take care of the food, they're going to come in earlier because breakfast is only served a certain amount of time. They come in earlier.
You
get
perform
breakfast.
better on a
Yeah. So they come in earlier, they stay later, they get more work done, they're happier, they're less stressed, they're more productive.
Save money.
So it's a win-win around the board. So I ate like a king this whole week. Didn't cost me a dime.
And you ate healthy.
Yeah, and I ate healthy.
You didn't have any Frosties, I imagine.
No.
Do you still have your Frosties?
I love Frosties.
You still have them?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
This guy told me that one day he stopped at Wendy's, like by my house, to get a Frosty to hold him off until he got down to the Wendy's by his house to get another Frosty. You still do that?
there was one time I was picking up my stepdaughter and I was a little late. I was like 20 minutes late. And then she gets in the car. She sees a big ass large Frosty in the cup holder that's half eaten. And she just looked at it and looked at me and was like, "You got a Frosty?" And I was like, "It was an emergency Frosty." And she was like, "What was the emergency?" And I was like, "I really wanted one."
Good to know you're a big kid at heart, Phil. Good to know.
You cut off soda recently, though, right?
Yeah, I cut out sodas. It's mainly a lot of like iced teas, lemonades,
You cut all
flavored
that out?
waters.
Yeah. So okay, but you're still having Frosties.
I mean, a man's got to live.
You can't cut everything off all at once. Yeah. All right. So
I need a reason to wake up.
I mean, you have a lovely wife, a lovely stepchild.
Yeah. But there's a Wendy's like right next to my apartment.
Do you fancy Wendy's breakfast?
it's all right.
It's okay. I'll be honest. My favorite breakfast is Jack in the Box.
Okay, yeah.
Like I don't really like McDonald's breakfast because I don't like English. Because I used to when they had the bagel sandwiches. I would fuck up the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Okay.
But I don't really like English muffins because they're always like dry and there's like nothing there.
English muffins on their own are great with just a little bit of butter. Those are fucking great. But yeah, as a sandwich, it's kind of weird.
But like with Jack in the Box, I'll get like that extreme sausage breakfast sandwich with the orange juice. Oh, that's so good.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so going back to Hollywood.
Yeah, I was in Hollywood all this week.
I want to talk more about Frosties.
Well, yeah, I'm salivating. Sorry, I gotta change the subject. Yeah, I literally am salivating. I'm not because of that, I'm sure. But so what? I know you can't talk about it, but how did it feel to be an independent guy that you have no formal training in filmmaking, right?
No, I taught myself when I was 13. We talked about that in my backyard wrestling
And
video.
the fact that you were at a major studio, aside from the fucking food, how did it feel to like be there and like, whoa, I'm here because, you know?
Very surreal.
Yeah.
Like you see how like high tech the office building was and how everything was like a well-oiled machine, how like happy the fucking employees are. It felt like you guys know the story of the Prince and the Pauper?
No.
There's a poor guy and a rich guy and they look identical and they switch places. It's been made into a bunch of movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I felt. I felt like there must be some mistake. I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm not going to say anything so that way they don't make me leave. You know, but like they had like a whole little like cafeteria area where you can sit and eat, and they have an outdoor patio that just overlooks the Hollywood Hills, and it's like there's the Hollywood sign. You know, and like, oh, there's that observatory from Grand Theft Auto 5 where you fucking meet that one dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you meet anyone that you recognize, or is it all back behind the scenes people?
No, it's all behind the scenes people. There wasn't like any celebrities there.
There's no filming like done there, right? Like, did you get to see any behind the scenes?
I didn't get to see any behind the scenes. I mainly just stuck to the one floor I was working on. But it's like in the lobby, I showed you guys that picture. They just have like all the Oscars they've won just like on display, like all fucking 30 of them or however many there are. So I've never seen an Oscar in real life, let alone 30.
Did you kiss it? Was it available to kiss?
It was behind the glass.
Okay.
It was behind the glass, so I couldn't. But I did take that picture.
Did you kiss the glass? Did you just...
No, I didn't kiss the glass.
Wait, you sent us all weekend. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but you sent us pictures of the stuff that was going, like, you know, where you were at. Were you allowed? Like, were you doing that in secret? Because I've been in places where I'm not supposed to shoot pictures.
So I didn't post any of those on social media. That's just for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go to a place like that and not take pictures. I need proof, God damn it.
You ain't gonna go to a place like Tubi and not take damn pictures, all right? Because we have to know why it is so bad. Oh no, Tubi's actually good, just in case if they want to produce a comedy special.
Yeah. Because people, 55 million subscribers.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. They're doing well. And then the funny thing about it, I'm starting to think maybe Tubi does like a lot of bad stuff to constantly get like traction to them, because if you see stuff going viral a lot of times by Tubi, you'll be like, well, let me go check out and see what this is, right? And it started all of a sudden now. You're like, oh, I found this one good few things. It's just like a few other things, you know?
Bad movies aren't always bad to watch with a friend.
Yeah.
You could have a lot of fun watching a bad movie with a friend.
What's a bad movie that...
Worst movie you ever seen?
Drive with Ryan Gosling.
No shit.
Yeah, I hate that movie with a passion.
I was gonna say
people call that a masterpiece.
I was gonna say Beowulf by Robert Zemeckis.
No shit. Okay.
I fucking hate Beowulf so much.
You know, I've wanted to watch that movie a lot of the times, and every time I started, people just say this movie's trash. Why are you watching this? And I turn it off.
Really?
There's a scene where Beowulf is gonna fight a dragon, and he decides to just take all his armor off and fight naked because he's like, well, the dragon's naked. We shall fight as equals. And I'm like, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah. You have armor on specifically to fight against that dragon. What are you doing?
Me and Gaspar, you remember Gaspar, right? We sat and watched a movie. It was a gang movie, and it was the worst shit we've ever seen. But it was funny watching it with him. There's a scene where the dude picks up his phone and then hello, hello, yeah, I'll be right over. All right, homie. And then it's just 2 buttons. And
we start. That's just 69. He didn't even start 69.
Well, that's like I watched some. I listened to like some rewatch podcasts.
Yeah.
One of them is Pod Meets World, where Topanga, Sean, and Eric rewatch Boy
I
Meets
started
World.
watching that because of you.
It's good.
It's good.
But they point out like their own bad acting because they were young and just starting out.
Yeah.
Like they point out how like sometimes they don't
They got nothing to lose now.
Yeah,
So-
but they point out how like sometimes they don't, when they answer the phone, they just like pull the antenna out and start talking into it and then close the antenna. They don't actually press the like answer or hang up button.
I used to notice that all the time, and I was like, "This is fake." And also, I was like, "God, that's a huge antenna too." That was.
You know what I like about that podcast is the guy that played Sean. You remember Boy Meets World?
Come on, don't insult me, man.
Okay.
Come on. Now.
Well, Sean
I got
talked
excited
about-
when he said Topanga.
Sean talked about how he like every audition he would go to, if he saw Leo DiCaprio, they were like, "Fuck."
Yeah, because they were all up for like the same roles
I
all the
forgot
time.
that they're like the same age. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I didn't ever thought of that.
Well, like him, do you guys know Larissa Orlanik? Secret World of Alex Mack, 10 Things I Hate About You.
No.
Wait, which one? Because I remember 10 Things I Hate About You. Is it the?
She was not the older daughter, but the younger daughter who can't date until the older daughter dates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently, like her and Sean like grew up together and were friends growing up. They used to do plays in San Francisco.
Sean's from the Bay Area. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. You know that?
No, I didn't
He's
know
from
that.
the Bay.
Oh, that's dope.
But they used to do plays in San Francisco, and then she did like 2 or 3 episodes on Boy Meets World where she played his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like weird for them to like kiss and make out because they've like known each other since they were little ass kids.
That sounds like the perfect romantic story. I'm not even gonna lie.
Does.
It was like because of the show and the closest we had, we realized we loved each other. Like that would have been. But I can see. I guess she friends on him a long time ago. That's cool. But that makes sense. Well, going back to what you said about Sean was always saying that Leonardo DiCaprio would be up for the same roles. Also, I think how old was Johnny Depp then? Because I feel like
He's older.
Okay, he's older.
He's way
okay.
older.
Okay, right. Was it
Because they did a movie together.
Footloose, yeah.
Oh, Footloose. That was the other guy.
Well, okay.
That was Kevin Bacon, I think. Right? I got it.
Okay.
How good are you with movie trivia?
Not that good.
Not that good. Okay, never mind.
Well, it depends on. I'm not really good with like names of people. Like whenever somebody gives me like an actor's name, you got to like flesh it out more. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Same thing with like with directions. Like my dad always tries to tell me streets. I'm like, don't tell me the street. I get lost. I get lost in my head because I'm thinking, what street is this? Give me landmarks. That's how I focus and that's how I remember stuff.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon is Footloose. Wait, what were we asking about Johnny Depp though? Because Johnny Depp and Leo did a movie together.
Okay. Because
Do you know which one that is? Gilbert Grape or some shit like that?
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought, as I said, Johnny Depp, I realized the movie that I went back to in my head, it was Scream 1. The dude who killed, and he was like, he licked the blood. It was like tomato or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that wasn't Johnny Depp. That's a dude who kind of looks like him, that same kind of teenage style.
Fuck, what's that guy's name? He was like, it's a trip because a lot of these dudes, they were like big in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them fell off. Like
Sean.
Sean. And the guy that played his older brother, what's his name? He was in My Date with the President's Daughter.
Well, yeah.
Remember that
Will
one?
Friedle. Will Friedle was also the voice of Batman Beyond.
That's true. Yeah, he
Will
was.
Friedle.
Eric from Boy Meets World.
older brother.
Okay.
But he.
Oh, right. Yes. I remember that.
They even reference that in an episode, like in like the 6th season when they're all in college and they're playing like the honesty game.
Yeah.
And Corey's telling Topanga like your hair looks stupid and all this other shit. Like there's a tag at the end where like Eric is trying to pick up this girl and he's just lie after lie. I'm the president's son, you know, all that. And then the last lie he does is like, I'm Batman. But he actually was Batman because he was the voice of Batman Beyond.
I remember that episode. When they went to college, did you guys kind of fall off on watching that as much?
No, I kind of liked it.
So when I was younger, I used to like the earlier seasons better, but now that I'm older, I tend to like the later seasons better just because I relate to it more.
It was for me like the younger seasons, stuff like that. When I was younger, I was like, but at the time I really got into like the college, because not the college, I was high school. I was more high school when it was like older and stuff. College I didn't like as much because Corey and Topanga broke up. Like,
so they broke up 3 times in the show. The first time was just like they were bored. Yeah. Like they were like making jam and they were like an old married couple. So they broke up and then they got back together at Disneyland. Yeah. And then the second time is the only time it really kind of made sense. And that's when Corey accidentally kissed Lauren at the ski lodge and Topanga found out. Yeah. You know.
Did you? I watched this thing. It's funny because I've been watching shorts all week, like hella shorts. Yeah, and one of the ones I ran into is they said that in the 90s, I think, every sitcom had to do an episode where they all went to Disneyland or Disney World. Did you hear about that?
Well, part of that was a lot of those shows were produced by... Boy Meets World did one, right? Yeah, Boy Meets World, Step by Step,
Roseanne,
Full House, Family Matters. Because a lot of those shows were produced by Disney or co-produced by Disney. So it was free for them to go to Disneyland and film. So they were like, well, it's free.
But also to advertise as a family going to fucking Disneyland.
And because of that, I wanted to go to Disneyland a lot more.
Right. Yeah. And it sucked for some of us that couldn't afford it. Yeah. Watching that, like, oh, every family goes to Disneyland. Yeah. I get Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly. I remember I was like, Mom, why don't we go to Disneyland? Like, and then Mom's like, because it's kind of expensive. I'm like, they go all the time. Like, where I see this all the time on TV, like each show, and I couldn't comprehend.
You like the Winslows just went last week, and they like, that's because Steve built the teleportation pad.
I think I literally said that to my mom, and then my dad countered with, Steve built the teleportation and then my mom said, well, how about this? Why don't you become a smarter Steve and teleport the whole family there, and they can go all the time? And I was just like, and then I went out and started trying to build like a little pad. I got cardboard, and my sister's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, I'm trying to build us a teleportation pad so we can go to Disneyland whenever we wanted. And my sister was like, oh, okay. And then we started literally building a teleportation pad for Disneyland. And then my mom was just like, there's no such thing as a teleportation pad. And I was like, not until I build it, there's not.
I was gonna say, recently, I think it was like last year or earlier this year, my wife like binged watched all the Family Matters again because my daughter hadn't seen it, and so she's like, oh, well, we'll just watch it together. And it's crazy to see the complete 180 that show does. Like, I think we were in like season 7 or 8, and at one point Carl's like, Steve, I'm not going back in time with you again. And I'm just like, this used to be a show about a family that mattered. How did we get here?
This is Fast and the Furious before Fast and the Furious, where they're fucking started off with racing. Now they're
racing cars.
Now they're in space.
That's
how that turned into. There was an episode where fucking he turned himself into Bruce Lee. You remember?
Yep, he had the transformation chamber.
It could be Bruce Willis,
and he used it to turn himself into Stefan or Kel.
Yeah.
And then at one point he cloned himself, and then turned a clone into Stefan or Kel.
Yep.
I got a question for you guys, because we're talking about all this nostalgia shit. What's one thing that you guys thought would still be around, like you didn't think it would go away? The reason I asked this, I'll say my shit first. I was looking at old pictures of me when I was a kid, like in a family album. I remember I used to carry like a dead pager in my pocket that was not active, just because I was like, one day I'm gonna have pager. I remember as a kid thinking, when I'm old, I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 pagers, dog. It sucks, as I mean that. But what's one thing for you guys that you could?
My hair.
I'm not even gonna lie. I told y'all this in the group chat. We did that backyard wrestling episode.
I thought you were gonna say the same thing.
Well, in a way, because we did that backyard wrestling episode a while back, and I pulled all that old footage to throw in the episode. Yeah. And looking at like 16-year-old Phil with my long beautiful golden hair and my nice chiseled jawline, I was like.
And you were small.
I was like, God, that shirt was a 1XL and it was baggy. What happened?
Yeah.
Jeez. What happened?
I've been showing people an old photo of me. I'll put it in the group chat too, and then I was just like, damn, I was small then. I think I was like 270. I was still like kind of bigger, but it was like I was small, like football shape wise. So then like in constantly working out, I was smaller then. I was like, and then because I kept telling people I had people told me I had a baby face, and I didn't believe them until I saw that photo, and I was like, damn.
I just said that in the group chat.
Yeah, I was like, if I was smarter, if I got into acting more, I definitely could have played like a 16, 17-year-old, even though I was like 24, 25. Like, so yeah.
It's funny because when I first started going to comedy shows, and I remember Corday, I just thought of this the other day because Big T called you by your Christian name.
Yeah, you called me this fucking morning. That shit. I got almost hung up on you. You was like, hey, and then I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, but I remember that's how people brought you up in shows.
Yeah.
Give it up for Cordellis.
Yeah.
And Big T called you that the other day. I just remembered like, holy shit.
It aggravates me so much.
Well, fuck, not even going that far. I just sent you guys both on the group chat an old flyer from a show 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, and I look at all my old headshots. Like, God damn!
You had headshots back then?
It was not a headshot. That's what I used to send to people because that's the only picture I had. It was like photography someone did for one of the shows, and I had a jawline back then.
Bro, I hell remember this photo.
Jesus Christ!
I remember this place it was at.
Yeah.
Laughing at the blue fin. Shout out to Corey Showtime.
Shout out to Corey Showtime.
Yeah.
This was 9 years ago. I did that show. That was the first show outside of the Bay I ever did.
Yeah.
And I remember I drove down there with Charles Hoffa Kelly.
And that's why I skied on her back.
Funniest drive ever. I had a fever, dog.
Hilarious.
I had a fever on my way to a show. I did 2 shows that night. I did the first like a 6 p.m. show at the what's that place called? It was Frosty Nugs. You remember Frosty Nugs? Frosty Nugs. I did his show, and
I just sent you the old selfie of me.
All right, okay.
Yeah. That's what my
fuck.
Yeah, with my Samsung Galaxy S3. That was like 2011.
Yeah, you look like, what's that rapper's name? Meek Mill.
Meek Mill.
You look like Meek Mill. Can I send this so we could post it on the video?
Fuck it, yeah. That's why I sent it. I wanted to post it.
Damn.
On the video. Yeah.
Holy shit!
I think I was like 270 at that, 270, 280. But I remember I was working out.
It's weird seeing you with hair.
Yeah, I know.
I never seen you with hair.
Yeah. You did see me
I did see you with hair. I don't
remember.
And you've had those tattoos since that.
So I got that sleeve tattoo when I was 19 years old.
No shit.
Yeah, I got this
wow.
when I was 19.
So I'm looking at this, Corday.
Yeah.
Looking at all this.
You look like your own son who's been cast to play a younger version of you in a movie.
You mean O'Shea Jackson Jr.? The Voice Party's movie.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's the clip. That's the clip. But yeah, no. I look super young, and then because I remember I think I started going to like bars like around 21. So I used to always get carded. I got carded for I think like 7 years. It wasn't until I got turned 28, 29 I stopped getting carded, and I was like, oh snap, they know I'm older. And then I was like, you just look kind of young. I was like, no, I don't. So then I wanted to look back what I looked like in high school. How young did I look then? Like if I had a baby face up until 28, Jesus, you know.
How tall were you?
It's like 6 foot, same height, yeah. But also that black shirt is like very slimming too. But like I did look good. I saw that picture, I was like, ooh, I gotta take this. And then I was like, I'm gonna start wearing more black shirts because I just look super slimming in that picture.
Okay, let's say you went back to this weight, and I'm asking both of you because we're all overweight.
Yeah.
How much do you think your personality would change if you lost 150 pounds right now?
I would tell you right now, if I ever got like a 6-pack, I'd stop wearing shirts.
Really?
I'd just switch to vests.
No way, for real.
For real. Why would you? Why? Like, I would be that skinny dude who always like plays basketball and just have to take their shirt off. You know how skinny dudes who have great bodies, they take off their shirt like
yeah.
Nobody does that except if you have a 6-pack. You want them to slowly like.
I'd be in a grocery store with no shirt and a scarf.
You'd be like Liver King. You know that guy Liver King? He's like this jack dude, never wears a shirt, eats liver all the time. I mean, he does fucking steroids too, but he's never wearing a shirt. Like, I don't know.
I thought about the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like Phil. Scarf, gloves, beanie, pants, no shirt, because they need to see this fucking sexy ass body of mine. It could be. I honestly saw. I used to have just like dreams that I was walking through a snowstorm, shirtless. But I was like, no. He was like, why are you walking through a shirt storm? I'm like, cause y'all need to see this 6-pack. And then like, so like somebody picks me up. They're just like, dude, you might be dying from hypothermia. I was like, as long as my 6-pack is showing, I'm good. Like just like stupid shit like that. Like, you know how hard it took me to get this?
You'd be like that guy Tusk from Killer Instinct. Remember? He just
See, my problem is like, well, if you want a 6-pack, you have to give up to Frosties. And then I'm like, well, maybe shirts aren't so bad.
I still
is 2024 maybe the year where we were walking around shirtless?
No,
20,
not even close.
2025 maybe.
All right, well,
I don't know.
Well, because literally, I think one thing I always wanted to do was I always wanted to be like in those bodybuilder or like perfect body kind of competitions, just to have myself trained to work for that kind of a thing, and then really start seeing the discipline of dieting to get back to like some form of like how it looks.
Especially now you're getting older, because I feel a difference now.
Yeah.
I went on a fucking, not even that, it was only like 3-mile walk the other day, and my back was out for the whole week.
Yeah.
That's how out of shape I am right now. Like if it's funny because I'm way bigger right now than I ever was for the whole filming of Unhealthy Comedian.
Well, what's great, like, so you guys saw the Backyard Wrestling episode. When I was younger, I was jumping off roofs, doing all this shit.
Were
Fine.
you working out?
No.
So you were just doing that?
Just doing that. Now, like, my shoulder will hurt me, and my wife will be like, what's wrong? I'm like, I think the ice cream was a little too frozen when I scooped it.
No lie, I'm not gonna lie. My shoulder has been hurting me for the last 3 weeks, and I just got health insurance again. So I'm like, I'm about to go to the doctor.
Bro, when I was in high school, I could sleep on someone's floor, wake up well rested, ready to take on the world. I sleep in a warm ass, comfortable bed with all the pillows you could ask for, and I'm like, oh, my neck, oh, my knee, oh.
When I was 19, I was working at Little Caesars right out of high school, right? And I was going to school nights, and I remember one time after class, we went and drank and partied hella late. Had to be at Little Caesars early the next day, and that day for my lunch, I slept on top of hella cardboard boxes. That was what I did for my 30 minutes lunch. I just took a nap, and I was fine to go party that night again with those 30 minutes of sleep.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. Like, I used to drive purposely to my job on weekends because I used to work 3 to midnight, and then if I caught the BART home, I wouldn't get back to like El Cerrito or like the East Bay to like 1:25. I remember specifically because it fucking took forever. So I would drive out there just in case if my homies or my friends was going out that night. So I would bring like
never do that shit now.
Never
just
do
in
that.
case.
Never do that. But I would bring a change of clothes to be like, hey, where we going? We going to like a bar? We going to like a club? I was like, I brought like 2 outfits. So I had like dress shoes, had a collared shirt just in case I can get in. Then remember one time I did all that and they said I couldn't get in because I had jeans. So the next time I brought slacks, it was like, so purposely I could always go out because at the time too.
City nights?
Nah, I was like 21 at the time. So it was like, so that's what I said, bars, you know. But at the time, my whole like, the job wasn't great. And then I'm like, I don't really like the job. I know I'm not gonna be here forever. I was like, but they was like, you sure you should be going out after work? I'm like, hell yeah, I should be. I was like, I just worked 8 hours. But then also I'm like, they're not gonna dictate what I'm gonna do later that night. I was like, so I'm gonna go out. And sometimes I used to work, it was crazy. They used to do this shit where I used to work 3 to 12. And then they said because I wanted to work mornings, I would work 6:30 to 3. And I would still go out with people, right? And
Be out till fucking 1 a.m. and shit?
Nah, it was like 3:30.
Yeah.
And then so what I would do, I would go home around 3:30. I would sleep until about 5:30, 5:45. I would turn on several alarms so I wouldn't oversleep. And then I knew if I left my house exactly at 6 o'clock, I can get to my job exactly at 6:29 if I did 70 miles on the road. But when I was waking up, I was driving to San Francisco, there was nobody on the road because it was like a Sunday. So I'm like, okay, cool. Zoom there, get there, like I'll be dressed, stuff like that. And then, funny thing about it, I would always be waiting on my coworker who was always late. But we had to be inside by 6:30, so I would just have to wait a few minutes and stuff like that. But I was always on time.
Yeah, same here. I mean, yeah, I would call out before I would be late, if that makes sense. Like I'll just call out though.
How early did you have to call out though?
I would call out 3 or 4 hours ahead of time. Sometimes I would send the email to call out for work at fucking like 5 a.m. I had to start at 7.
Yeah.
or 4:30.
Yeah.
One time I remember I was up. It was 3:30. I was at partying, and I just sent the email. I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
I wasn't even hungover yet. I was just still like
just
drinking my hand. Hey, I'm not feeling good. I haven't been able to sleep all night. That's not true. That's true.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. See, I couldn't call out because on Sundays I had to open up.
Oh yeah.
Which eventually the reason why I had to open up because they was like, oh, don't worry, the person who's gonna come, it will always be here on time. And then it took one time they wasn't there on time because they overslept because they was doing it. It was doing security time. They would work 3 to midnight and they had to come in at 6:30, or I would work 3 to midnight and have to come in at 6:30. We both had to do it, and then he overslept by like an hour. So the place we worked at, Conservatory of Music, had to open every day by 7 a.m. And because he didn't wake up or get there to like 7:45.
Partied or something or what?
Nah, we was just overworking, but I think he did probably go party or something like that. But
You notice when your coworkers are into some wild shit.
Well, it wasn't even that. So he was in the Army, then he was in the Army Reserve, and it was just like we were all getting fucked just getting terrible hours because they didn't want to hire more people, and they were just like, oh, well.
How old were you? 21?
I was like 21, 22.
You're just standing security at a job? Or?
No, I was sitting down.
Oh,
I was sitting down like at a desk like this, and it was like, it was a great experience because there was a ton of attractive women who all played musical instruments, like people who sang opera and people who play like the cello and stuff like that. So it was super cool. We couldn't talk. We couldn't date them. We could talk to them, but we couldn't date them. Well, because this will happen. Other security guard was dating and fucking a student.
Yeah.
And then it became like a bad thing. And so now the company is like, but chicks used to always flirt with us. It was always cool. Me and one of my coworkers, we used to always say, we went to this school, we'd be fucking hoes. Because we'd be fucking all the chicks here. Because also imagine all the chicks are 8 through 10s, like 8s, 9s, and 10s, right? And then all the guys who are very attractive are all gay. So then, like the best looking guy is like a 6.5. So you
guys
see like
with 6-packs,
huh?
Guys with 6-packs.
Nah, like
I'm just saying that, like
yeah. But like so there'd be like 1 or 2 like cool looking guys or like hot guys, right? But it's like 300 women. So then guys, like you literally see like a 9 dating a 6, and it was like hell yeah. But then it was crazy to see because like, how do y'all get together, right? And security found out that these weird couples would get together and start dating around finals. Because when are you most stressed? Around finals, right? You've been studying a lot.
Holiday season.
Holidays, and then you need to release. So how do you release that stress?
There's a lot of people getting together right now specifically for the holiday season.
Yeah.
Right now as we speak.
Exactly. And a lot of babies is going to be happening.
A lot of babies being born, what 9 months from now? What is
9, 10 months, yeah. Usually like October, late September, early.
All because you got a little cold.
Yeah. You need some body heat.
You need some body heat.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, married Phil?
I mean, I wouldn't recommend a marriage.
You know what's like thinking back to my younger days and like, how we used to party late. The wildest thing I remember one time was one of my buddies, I don't want to say his name because we're not cool anymore. I guess we fell off.
Oh, fucking say his name.
No. But he used to work at the zoo, Oakland Zoo. And one night we partied late down, literally across the street from Gompers. It was a house party.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
Terrible place to party.
Yeah. We were young. We were like 19 or 8 or 20.
Okay.
We weren't even 21 yet because I remembered specifically we went to the San Pablo, Food Max to steal alcohol.
Yep.
My dumbass friend put it under his jacket, and as he was walking, he was drunk. It fell. Hella shit broke right under him, and then he just ran out.
I would too.
And the guy who was like mopping, he just looked at him. All of it dropped, and then he just like, ugh. He didn't even like. Whatever.
Did he take his break?
Yeah, he didn't even like. But I'm sure he cleaned it. But
yeah.
He just left. The other guy was hella drunk, and he had to be at work at 6. It was 3:30. We were fucking hammered.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, so are you still working today? He was like, throwing up. I think we dropped him off at the zoo.
Really? Hilarious.
He couldn't walk.
Yeah.
He was like out, and we were force feeding him water because he was throwing up.
Yeah.
And I think somehow we just dropped him off at the zoo, and like that's not our problem no more. He's the one that decided.
Well, you got to work.
Yeah.
You can't say we made you late.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't imagine, dude. Yesterday for the second show, I was up 5, and yesterday for the second show at the new whatever Hella Funny show, during my set, I kind of was like, I guess I can't imagine doing like shit like that anymore. Like, I think last time I went, I danced 2 songs and I was ready to like, all right, I'm done.
What are you talking about? Clubbing?
Just no, not even clubbing, just partying.
Oh, partying. Yeah, I mean, like
My body's different now.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad sometimes. Like, oh man, I used to be out dancing all night. And, you know, going to end my night at Nations, ordering some chili cheese fries and a shake. Yeah. Which is probably why I got here, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I usually just like order a hot dog, but I always consider that like my sobering meal.
Yeah. Hella, yeah.
Nowadays, I always get invited to like a wedding or something like that, and I'm just like, my knees gonna be swollen at the end of the night. That's just like going to, because I'm gonna be partying and dancing that much, but also because I love to dance too. Yeah. So I'm like, me too. I'll just ice this bad boy tomorrow. You know, it's kind of a thing. But
you ever dance, Phil? You don't seem like a dancing type. You don't seem like you've ever danced in your life ever. And if you did, you'd probably start crying.
When I dance, my feet don't leave the ground. So
so you just move your shoulders?
Yeah, just do a little chubby guy shuffle.
Yeah. Have you ever like danced at a party or anything like that?
Not really. That's not really my scene.
What do you mean scene, fool? It's not a scene. It's just expressing fucking joy. That's not a scene. Everyone does that. I know a lot of white people that do that, so don't say it's not a cultural thing or something like that.
It's not a cultural thing. I don't know. That's never been my thing. Like when I go to a party, like I'll talk to people. I'm not gonna like dance though.
Just be there drinking. I'm here for
He doesn't drink.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Oh, you're just
You don't drink. You don't dance. You're a serial killer.
You ever be trying to talk to somebody and they dance with somebody? Like, hey, remember that thing we was talking about? It was like, end of the bit. That happened to me one time. I was dancing with this girl. I'm just like this, and it was like, hey, bro, I see you. Like, hey, man, remember we was talking about like Digimon or something like that? I was like, dude, not right now. Dude, I'm fucking trying to dance with a chick.
I also hate when I remember one time this happened, like 2019, I was at a cumbia thing and I was dancing. Some girl, we were just dancing, and this drunk dude came up to me. He's like, good job, in front of her. I'm like, it just made it weird. Like, this is.
Speaking of serial killing, like, like I hate people here, like especially like San Francisco, Oakland. I hate traffic and crowds and just people suck, right? Mm-hmm. So like I hate the people here.
Yeah.
LA made me want to fucking act on all my intrusive thoughts. Whoa. Like, holy shit, I could never live there. I would murder someone.
Wow. Tell us what happened.
The ridiculous traffic, just the attitudes of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
was this Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah, Hollywood, LA, Burbank, that whole area I was in.
Yeah,
consider yourself lucky, Phil. Consider yourself
That's
lucky.
Like all the assholes in the world where they all moved to, and like.
You thought it was bad out
Thought it was bad here.
And then you went to LA.
Yeah, you ever seen the movie?
Found out the truth.
You ever seen the movie Falling Down?
Yeah, that's Michael Douglas. Joel Schumacher did that movie.
That's the guy that did.
He did Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
You ever seen Falling Down?
No.
It's this guy who like gets fired and then just goes on a rampage. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
really good. Michael Douglas is in it. Michael Douglas is in it.
You know Michael Douglas?
Yeah, who got throat cancer?
Yeah. Watch out eating pussy, everyone. Well, it's a movie where a dude gets fired, and in his fucking little sleeveless shirt and tie, he just starts killing people. Right?
Yeah, he's not like there's
it happens in LA during traffic.
There's a great scene in the movie where he's at like a fast food joint, like a fake McDonald's or whatever. Yeah, and he gets mad because his food don't look nothing like the picture. Goes on a fucking rant about everything.
It's a good movie.
It's really good
movie.
It sounds like me and Applebee is going on a rant.
It's like, someone in traffic. For him, it happens in traffic. And
my hotel was 7 miles from the undisclosed streaming location.
Tubi.
Took me an hour to get there. Yep. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, no. That's why, like, I mean, yeah.
I could have walked there faster.
You could have. And why didn't you? Look at that. That's on you, motherfucker. That's on you. No, but then you would have ran into these people.
No, I'm thinking about it. How crazy is that where, you're GPSing stuff and then it says the expected drive time is longer than the walk. And you really got to think to yourself, should I just walk?
But then it's like you're already on the road, usually.
Well, I'm talking about as like if you're leaving the house.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it says hour and 10-minute drive, 45-minute walk, and you're just like,
I'm going to sit my ass in the car because I'm too fucking... Yeah. That's why I don't have a jawline anymore. That's why, I don't look like Meek Mill anymore.
hey, there we go. Hey.
No, but you know what? I'm not going to lie. I was happy about this new job I got until like now that the traffic is kind of really sinking in. I kind of lost my cool where someone pulled over, said something. I did something terrible on the road the other day. Not terrible, but just... And then this person came up and did. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah. I never do that. Yeah. And that's how like traffic is kind of getting to me now.
Well, speaking of me, my new job, you
got a new job.
Yeah, I got a new job. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, tell us what you got, Corday. Tell us what your new job is.
My new job is I teach AP Spanish at high school. Yes, Phil. New AP Spanish teacher.
Dime como...
So the same thing my students
Let's speak only Spanish then.
Huh?
¿Qué haces en tu clase? ¿Qué les enseñas a tus estudiantes?
So I'm not going to speak Spanish on command like how you want me to, okay, JD? All right? This is what I tell my students. Because like...
But what do you do though? Like, can you speak a little bit or what?
I can speak a little bit and I can like read it pretty well too.
Okay, when you told me that, I thought you were fucking with me the first time, but like what is like... How's it going in there? Like,
it's going cool. A lot of, because the students honestly wonder like, can I speak Spanish? Yes, I can speak Spanish. Can I read it to it? Like they come on, and then I start reading it to it. Like, oh, okay. And then I
read it?
Yeah, I can read it. And because like I've taken Spanish like a number of times, okay. And then like I practice stuff, then I'll listen to stuff to say it, and then I'll listen to it in Spanish, then I'll have it translated, and then so I can tell you what we're doing, what we're saying, and stuff. So I'm trying my best, but what it really comes down is just classroom management and like just managing a lot of the kids. Like, hey, AP Spanish, because these are also the advanced kids that I'm teaching.
Jesus Christ!
So it's more independent. So it's more of a, hey.
What is it, seniors, juniors?
And sophomores.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's all that. And I'm like always giving out information like, hey, we're doing this AP thing. Let's sign up for this test. Hey, who needs help with essays or something like that? So I'm like caring, but then also managing the classroom, like telling kids like, hey, it's like, hey, will my stuff be great? I'm like, yes, I'll be graded. Because it's kind of it's a whole situation of where I'm coming in trying to help. So at first they're like, does he even know Spanish? But it's more of he's trying to help me get a passing grade. I'm like, what's your grade in there? Like, oh, it's like this or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well,
you all got A's.
No, but I'm like, we need to get there.
Yeah.
I was like, what about these previous work? Like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out.
So you're not a sub. You actually got like.
No, I'm a sub. I'm a long-term sub.
Oh, okay.
That's basically what it's called. So I'm like in this class long term.
So how's it feel to not be struggling anymore?
Oh man, it feels good. I got paid too, dude. I was like, oh, but then I had to pay rent right immediately because I didn't pay it for when it came. But I was like, okay, cool. So yeah.
And you got no fucking traffic issues to deal with.
No, that's the amazing part that we should talk about, dude. Like,
it fucks with your day, bro.
Yeah.
It ruins your mood.
Well, this is why I was starting to push for that job, because I had got a job offer in Oakland. And I was gonna be like subbing just like wherever they sent me, like K through 12. And if it wasn't for the job I worked in Alameda before I accepted that one, where it was like 40, 45, 50 minutes, or sometimes good days would be 38 minutes to get there. The last day when I left, it was like a 2-week writing camp that I was like help leading. My drive back was 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, I can't do this.
My drive back is 1 hour 30.
Yeah.
Easy.
So yeah. And you're coming from San Francisco. I was just coming
South San Francisco.
And I was coming from like Alameda. And then in that moment, I was like, I can't do this. Because by the time I got to the Emeryville Maze, I was exhausted and I was getting sleepy. And I was like,
you got sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I was telling you guys, like, my old job, it was like that, where you come back in this rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
And it would take me 1.5 hours to get home. And I'd be getting tired. I'd hit like that Caldecott tunnel. Start nodding off. I'd have to like pull off and take a nap somewhere and then finish my drive later. Like we only have so many hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We only have so many years on this planet. Sitting in traffic for a 30 year life, I'm sorry, I'm too old for that.
It's
I ain't got
shit.
time for this shit.
I hate that too. That's the thing that sucks is, you know, in the morning I gotta leave. I gotta wake up like 2-3 hours before to make sure I get there on time. Yeah, Friday I didn't realize it was a holiday. Friday was a holiday, so when I looked at my GPS, it says 45 minutes to get to my job. I'm like, what the fuck? No, it was less than that. And I drove all the way straight. It's like, yeah, it took like 35 minutes to get there. This should be my drive every day.
Yeah.
See what it is when these cities were being planned, there weren't this many people alive, so these roads weren't planned
to do something.
Well, our infrastructure wasn't designed to accommodate this many people.
Yeah.
And it's not like they can just bulldoze the city and start over. It's not like we're gonna cut this block in half and add some more streets. So really the only solution is we just gotta start killing people, like lots of people.
Nah, I don't think that's it.
We tried that with COVID because you know
Tried that
COVID
with
was an
COVID.
inside thing.
You remember how great traffic was during lockdown?
Yeah, but then our own family members started going like, ooh, maybe not.
Did you really like those family members?
Yes,
though?
I did, you motherfucker. Don't you ever ask me that again, all right? Jesus
Well, I
Christ.
remember one time I had to drive to my old job, and it was like, oh, we can meet there, and I was like, during now? I was like, dude, it's 3:30, almost 4. I was like, that's the heart of traffic, right? And then I forgot it was COVID because I was teaching from home the whole time, right? And then I drove, and I GPS'd it. I had to look at it several times. It said 28 minutes. And I was like, are you serious? Because most of the time when you're driving to Oakland around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. there, it's usually like 40 minutes because of some traffic, right? And then on the way, I was like, well, I'm going to get fucked on the way back. And then it was clearer on the way back than it was going. I was like, what the hell? And then the guy who I met at the old place I worked, he was like, yeah, it's a lot more traffic today than I've seen previously. I was like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, it's a lot more people out today. I'm like, what? So, yeah.
That's why, like, I'm putting it out in the atmosphere right now. I want to have a job where I can work from home somehow. I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
I gotta learn some skills. I gotta like, I mean, I know that might be hard to maintain like productivity at home as it would somewhere else, but I gotta figure because I'm starting to fucking get back to my aggravated self back when I used to be stuck in traffic. Because, dude, being stuck in traffic when you have to pee is the worst. When you're hungry or something else is going on.
That's
you're
just
like,
a big dude.
Especially as
Or even if you just had like a stressful ass day and you just want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your fucking shoes off and lay down. You've had a long day. You're ready for it to be over.
Especially if you're out of town, like in LA. That's horrible, man.
Monday, I left at 4 a.m. so I could get down there by like 9-10. And then every day, you know,
4 in the morning?
4 a.m. And then every day I was working till like 6 in the evening. One day it was like 8 in the evening. But then I go back to my hotel and I got to back up all that footage. I got to get caught up on emails. I'm still working till like midnight. And then I get up at 6 the next day, do it all again the next day. And then Friday, I left at 6. I got back here at like 11:30, and now we're shooting today. So I guess I'll just sleep when I'm dead at this point.
Nah, man. I mean, it's real because like, okay, so we're shooting several different days this week, right? Or a bunch of different stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, I got a show. I got 2 shows Friday. I got 2 shows Saturday. I got a show Sunday. And there's a lot of traveling with that. Plus the podcast during the day. I'm like, oh, my day is like free. I'm like, oh, no, wait. Got the podcast during the day. So it's, yeah. And then next week or whatever, I'll be in like slow that Friday and Saturday.
Are you going to Bakersfield Sunday?
Yeah.
What time do you think you'll be back? Like 1?
Probably 12:31.
And then you work the next day.
And then I work the next day, yeah. So yeah, it's so like back to what you were saying, being like having a stressful day and then you just want to go home and relax and leave. I was thinking sometimes I had those days and then I'm like, I just want to go home and relax. But then I had a show either in Oakland or in San Francisco later that night, and I'm like, do I just fucking stay here? And I'm like, no. So what I would do sometimes when I had a stressful day, I would just turn on a dope podcast that I had already listened to, and then I would consume like the 50 minutes of the drive, and by the time it ended, I was like pulling up to my house. And I'm like,
It makes it go slower.
I was gonna say that's one thing. I don't really listen to music anymore when I drive, especially during the commute, because every time a new song kicks in, my brain is like, oh, it's been 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it just makes me more aware of the passage of time. Where with a podcast, since it's a longer format, you don't really think about that.
Yeah, I plan that out now, where I plan out like a couple of videos, I download them.
Yeah.
And then I can listen to that, and then by the time it's over, I'm sitting in my car waiting to hear the rest of it. When I'm already home, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Or I get on the phone, call someone that I kind of need to call. That's been like a lifesaver for. Yeah, it sucks though, because it's like all this time wasted inside of a fucking car.
Yeah.
All because there's hella other motherfuckers here too. I hate it.
Yeah, and it's like life's too short.
That's why
life is too short.
That's why I hate short podcasts, because like you got a long commute and it's only 30 minutes, and he was like, man, I'm not even done with this whole commute, and this podcast, one of my favorite podcasts is already over.
Now you gotta endanger your life looking for another one.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being in traffic and now you're trying to find something else to listen to because the podcast you wanted to hear wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcos. That was a shout out to you, Marcos, Mr. Half an Hour Podcast.
Yeah, that never makes sense. I can understand half an hour podcast if it's daily.
Yeah.
If it's like shorter.
If it's every week we're recording.
Yeah, and then especially if we're putting out like.
But it doesn't make a lot of sense. You really, I mean, I don't know. It really needs. You need to let sometimes the conversation marinate, and it 30
well,
minutes.
Even just think about like. If you're on a date with a girl, like 30 minutes, how much conversation can you really have in 30 minutes versus like you talking to somebody for an hour?
Oh, if you could have a very quick conversation in 30 minutes, but it's probably not a second date.
No. Yeah.
And then like the best dates are the ones where you talk to somebody for hours.
Yep.
That like, you were supposed to leave and they was supposed to leave, but they just like, oh, let me just text this person and say I'm not gonna be able, I'm gonna be a little late. And then they keep texting that person like, I'm gonna be a little late too. And then y'all just keep doing that. And then eventually you might just cancel on that person because this date turned into like a whole 4-hour thing. That happened to me in college. That was a great fucking time. But
I've known my wife for years.
Yeah.
We kind of drifted apart, at one point. The first time we started hanging out again, we went out to breakfast somewhere, and it was going so well, she called out of work so we could keep hanging out.
Yeah.
So that's how you know.
That's irresponsible, first of all.
You've met my wife.
I remember one time I almost called out of work because I thought this date was going so damn well until the chick got a call from somebody else who she promised she was gonna hang out with. This is a chick I was trying to cut out of my life, which I eventually did. And she got a call from some other dude, and I was trying to like hang out with her for a long time. And she's like, I'm gonna make time for you. I'll make time for you. I will make time for you. And I'm like, I've been trying to hang out with you for 5 damn weeks. And this dude calls, you about to drop everything. You about to drop me? And I was like, man, fuck all this. And this back when I liked Kanye before he started going like real crazy. And 808 and Heartbreaks CD had just came out, or it was like out or whatever.
That's my favorite Kanye album.
And then I went because I was working at Target. I was doing security. I went to Target before I even started. I might have clocked in and then went and just bought that CD. He was like, "Aren't you starting?" I was like, "I need this to listen to." And it was just like, it was like, "Yeah, you should be starting." I was like, "No, I need this right now." And then it was 808. It was like, "You going through something?" I'm like, yeah. And I listened to that CD the whole fucking shift, and it was 8 hours. But remember the Heartless song? That didn't affect me. I thought that song was funny as hell. It was like other deep ass sad.
Was it like See You in My Nightmares or RoboCop or?
It was RoboCop, and then it was like it's like street lights flowing.
I think there's like. It's a very, I don't know, it's good to be heartbroken. Like a lot of good shit comes from it.
Well, yeah, you need that so that way you know when something good comes along.
Yeah, that too, but also like there's something that, I don't know, like listening to heartbreak, like being heartbroken, listening to a song, you feel that shit.
Yeah.
This is what this song was written for. Like, and then it also does something to you like, oh man, I gotta, I deserve better.
Yeah.
A lot of shit goes through your mind when you're heartbroken, and I feel like people don't like to be there, but you kind of need it.
It's never good to be there in the moment, but
it sucks when you're there.
To later realize, like, this was a huge loss of mine, and next time
this ain't home, baby.
Yeah.
Well, also it teaches you like what to watch out for.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't fall for that again.
Yeah.
It gives you thicker skin. And also, sometimes you look at yourself and be like, ooh, I was a fucking jerk for
Exactly.
that.
That's what
I
I
was
was
a
trying to
fucking
get.
jerk for that.
But it's important to know how to fucking navigate that shit, because then you see motherfuckers turning into like Andrew Tate and shit, you know, like in a heartbreak where like fucking all women are fucking horrible. Like it's important to kind of like, all right, like I gotta take care of myself, or I gotta, you know, make better decisions, whatever the fuck it is. But it does, you see someone after they've been heartbroken, they're fucking killing their set. Yeah. You're like, hell yeah. That's like
This break up like really like projected me into my career. That happened with do you guys remember the group Gym Class Heroes?
Yeah.
So
the dude was dating Katy Perry.
He was dating Katy Perry, and he started falling like into like a real addiction because of his addiction, and she was blown up as well as him. She broke up with him, and then because of that, he fixed his addiction. he got over his addiction, or he didn't get he got the help that he needed, so he could get over this, because he lost the woman of his life due to drugs and stuff like that. So that's why he got clean. I remember I had an Andrew Tate moment though. I had a serious Andrew Tate moment. I was supposed to meet up with a chick in Santa Maria on my way from the Bay to Santa Barbara, because Santa Barbara's an hour away from Santa Maria. And then I was like, oh babe, I'm gonna like be there in like a little bit, right? Showed up at her house. She wasn't responding. And I think it was like 2:30. And I knew she started work at 4. So I'm like, well, why she not responding? And then I drive to her job. And I was like, you know, just like try to see, like, cause I was wondering what the fuck happened, right? And then, like, as I'm waiting there, I was like, I'm crazy. Why am I doing this job? I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not crazy. Cornet's not crazy, right? As I'm about to drive off and leave, I'm like, she must be inside. Because I was like, I'm not going to go inside because that's stalkerish. And I'm not going to do that. Maybe she got called in to work early. As I'm about to
going there already was
right. But as I was about to drive off, I see this car zooming up. And I'm like, okay, who the fuck is this? I was like, I'm going to wait, because I was like, this car looked like they about to do some donuts or some shit, or I don't know, about to rob somebody, right? Car pulls up. She gets out with another dude. Oof. And she's like all like lovey-dovey, like got her like arms. She's like, oh my God, like kind of thing. And then I had like that thug tear, like that one tear, and I was like I was heartbroken and super sad. I was like, man, I hate women and shit. And I started turning to Andrew Tate, and I started realizing, I was like, nah, dude, you can't take out the hate from this one woman on every single woman you meet from here on out. Because what happened if you meet the one you're supposed to be with and you're an asshole and a dick to her because you still from this heartbreak in Santa Maria? And I was like, damn.
No, but I know what you mean. Like that's like the first thought that comes to your mind.
Yeah, first thought that comes to mind. Revenge. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember one time I felt really bad about this, and I'm not gonna say names, but I was supposed to meet with this one chick and her friends at Lake. Not Lake. What was that? Stinson Beach.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll get there, but I'm gonna get there late because I'm at work. So I got off work like at 6 or whatever, and then I started driving there, and it started getting dark. I don't know if you ever driven there.
Yeah.
And then I get there, and she was gone. I was like, oh, she's not here no more. Yeah. And then I guess the runner-up guy. No, it wasn't runner-up, but the other guy showed up. She was a little drunk, and then they took off together. And I found that out once I got to the beach. Yeah. And I was like, motherfucker. Like, the whole drive back, I was fucking
pissed, yeah.
Bitch, fucking.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. I felt horrible because I hella liked her.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, she was, like, looking for someone else. And like, I think back now, like, hey, they're, like, I think they got a family now and shit. So I was like, all right, cool. That was their... like, remember that episode of How I Met Your Mother where that girl is finally free and he was trying to get with her, and then he's trying to get Barney away from her and all these dudes. Yeah. And then the one dude that gets her, he's like, fuck, well, I'll see you next time. But there was no next time.
Oh, yeah. It's every time she broke up, she immediately would meet somebody and then they would date for years.
Yeah.
It was like she broke up with this one guy, then met somebody, and they dated for like 3 years. Yeah.
Then the next guy, 4 years. Yeah, the next guy, it was a mailman.
Yeah. It's like only thing that happened was the guy dropped her mail off and she dated the mailman guy for like 3 or 4 years. Guy. Yeah. And then
you remember that episode?
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've watched How I Met Your Mother because I hate the last episode. so it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
All right. Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I feel like if it had a better last episode, it would be looked at the same way Friends is looked at now, where it's like timeless.
I hate Friends. So
I know.
Oh yeah. Matthew Perry just died.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
I mean, he wasn't my favorite friend, but he'll be missed.
Yeah. It's funny, not funny, but I was thinking like he drowned, like this motherfucker drowned.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure because he was still battling with his addiction, right? He was open about it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I can just imagine. I mean, some muscle relaxer drug probably knocked him out while he was in the pool, and that's a lot of these famous.
And he just put out that memoir not too long ago either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, God damn, of all the people, why couldn't it have been Jada? Why'd it gotta be Matthew Perry?
Whoa.
Who?
Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, Jada. You didn't read her fucking book where she's like, "Don't let your husband stop you from finding your true love." Spends the whole fucking book bad mouthing Will.
I've bought it. It's not a New York Times bestseller either. I remember a lot of stuff she was putting out. I was like, I gotta get this damn book because I had Will Smith's book and I wanted to compare the two of them. I haven't started reading it. I started reading Rich Paul, my arch nemesis.
Speaking of heartbroken.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird to look at them because you look at just like 10 years ago. You know, that Jada and that Will love. Like, they were like this symbol of like a healthy relationship that we all could strive for.
Yeah.
And now we find out all this shit afterwards. Like, whoa, hold on a sec.
I saw a meme that it said J. Cole that I want that real love, that Jada and Will love, and it said, yeah, this ain't aged good. Remember they almost broke up before, and that's the funny thing about it. And then now you hear this memoir of all this stuff like we've been separated for all this time. It was weird to hear him call me her wife, stuff like that.
But that's I mean that's a people can look nice on the outside and then you find out this shit was going on. Who knows how many times they've cheated on each other.
Yeah.
When you're at that level, I really don't think nothing happened between Will and that fucking Margaret Robbie chick either. Like he probably got to smash. So it's like I don't know. Maybe they're not even together anymore, but this is bringing so much publicity. Her book probably sold hella because of this.
It didn't.
No?
It didn't.
At all?
Yeah.
People talk about it, though.
Yeah, people talked about it, but then it didn't, because it has like a few weeks to become a New York Times bestseller, and it actually did bad.
But she's doing good publicity, maybe.
Yeah, the publicity, I think, was to push the book, but then it eventually just turned and made it seem like why are you doing this to Will?
Yeah.
Because Will, because it was a multitude of things, the Oscar situation, the slap, and then it was like he was there defending you, but then he wasn't he was doing this for your honor kind of a sense, and then it's like these constant things that keep happening, and it's just like Will's not he doesn't look and seem and act like a bad guy. Like we've never seen him in that kind of way. Maybe it was like a different guy who's like an asshole and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It would make more sense, but it's like, why are you doing this to the nice guy kind of a thing? So that I feel like that's why society didn't bond with her, because she always brings up Tupac.
She's the one that got even for the slap. She's the one that's getting all the heat.
Yeah,
he's just like.
Yeah,
because there was that clip going around where Will was laughing at first, and then Jada looked like she wasn't having a good time.
Yeah,
and then next time we cut to Will, he's like, shit.
Yeah, and he's defending her honor and stuff like that. So I saw a clip today too of this is a conspiracy, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it was maybe this was a conspiracy. Chris Rock and Jada and Will was all in. I was like,
I thought that too at first.
I was like, yeah, Chris didn't look like he was in on it. He's
a good actor.
Yeah. He's not. He's not a good actor.
I don't know.
He even says he's not a good actor. That's why I've said that. That's why I said that. He shits on his own movies.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I said that.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about this whole Jada Will thing. If people are blowing it up so much.
I think one of the big issues is Will had this positive reputation. He was the nice guy. He was a role model.
Fresh Prince.
Exactly. And so to now lose that positive role model, I think is damaging.
Before we go, we're going to close out this episode. Our homie Chris Posadas asked if anybody wants coffee.
Yeah, I'll take some coffee, yeah.
I mean, can you grab me a hot chocolate?
Like a donut, too? Some sweets?
Custard,
Close us out.
And that's been The Voice Party.
And we're out.
Yeah. Not awkward at all.
Yeah.